There they are.
There it is. Drew, thank you. The Osprey is coming in right now. We can see it over here on the Indiana side, and then the fans will be able to see it here in just a second as it approaches the Ohio River.
Flying over the 2nd Street Bridge right now. This is a really interesting looking aircraft. We want to talk to another expert. Rob, you're helping us out too, but we've got Lieutenant Colonel Josh Ketterer with us. He's in the command center. And Josh, talk to us a little bit about this aircraft.
Right, so here's an aircraft that was kind of born out of necessity when we had the awful tragedy that happened as we were trying to rescue these hostages during this thing called Desert One that happened in Iran all these years ago. We had to find a way to have a transport aircraft that could land and take off like a helicopter, and that is exactly what this aircraft is capable of. The aircraft is capable of landing on a helicopter landing zone and flying like an airplane. And when they started flying this thing, they kind of treated it like an airplane that could land like a helicopter, and in its concept of operations kind of had to shift, and we basically decided, hey, this is a helicopter that can fly like an airplane. It can take off at about 60,000 pounds of gross weight in airplane mode, or like a helicopter, it takes off at about 52,000 pounds. Now, when I say airplane mode, truly, it's never really taken off like an airplane because those great big rotors would strike the ground. So those nacelles, the giant engines that are on the end there, they can't forward to about 60 degrees and kind of pull the aircraft forward off the ground. But that thing is incredible. It has the ability to take Marines, soldiers, sailors, anywhere they need. And the Navy's moved forward with this platform, and they're using it for what they call carrier onboard delivery, resupplying carriers. Special Operations uses this aircraft for any myriad of requirements. It's used for crash search and rescue. It is a do-it-all utility platform that we just can't get enough of.
Well, I think everyone is interested by it, and maybe this is the thing for me because it's a mix between the two, the airplane and the helicopter, and it is really cool to see, though.
That's right, and you're seeing him now. He is making that transition from that airplane mode into that helicopter mode. You're seeing those nacelles cant upward towards 90 degrees, and basically it is turning into a dual rotor helicopter right now, giving it the ability to land or take off vertically.
What's the maximum speed for this kind of aircraft?
It tops out around 200 knots indicated airspeed, so it really depends on how high it's going. That translates to ground speed or true airspeed, but it's topping out at about 200 knots indicated, to answer your question.
It's really mesmerizing with the double propeller because we're not used to seeing helicopters or just, you know, a generic helicopter like this.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, this thing was, you know, something that was born out of necessity, and quite honestly, it went through a lot of growing pains. But now, knock on wood, it seems like those are kind of flushed out, and this thing is a workhorse for the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps.
What's the saying that necessity is the mother of all invention, right?
That is what they, yes, that is an accurate saying, especially in the case of the Osprey. It is a special operations platform, a cargo platform, a search and rescue platform. It is a do-it-all utility platform that, as I said, you know, we just can't get enough of.
You know, Josh and everyone, I mean, I've seen videos of the Osprey and heard about it. This is the first time seeing it, and it looks so cool flying over the bridges right now and getting to see both airplane and helicopter.
Oh, look, yeah, that is super cool to see the guys.
Look at all those Marines. They're just happy somebody let them out of school. But no, we love those guys. Those guys are the absolute best. They are consummate professionals, and they have been just an absolute pleasure to work with through planning this event.
I've got a video of my kid hanging out the back of one from the Marine Basic School at Quantico. It, like Josh said, the Marines really make good use of this aircraft to move, you know, infantry units around rapidly, get them into tight places, but being able to rapidly move them somewhere else.
Are they all harnessed in there, or are they so trained that they're just...
No, they're just hanging on. They balance real well.
They are harnessed in. They safety first.
Wow, this is really cool to see.
And you're going to see here in just a moment, those nacelles are going to cant forward. You're going to see them accelerate forward as they head out of the box. But watching it go from its helicopter mode back into airplane mode is my favorite part of watching the Osprey fly. Just an absolute wonder of machinery, honestly.
It's definitely not something you see every day. I think that's my favorite part of the air show is seeing these, I mean, they're incredible aircraft, and you get to see them, and you normally wouldn't see them. And I love that they're hanging out and waving to us. And
Josh, tell me, do you have any idea what is it like during the transition from helicopter to aircraft mode, or aircraft to helicopter? Well, I guess it's all like airplane to helicopter mode. Is that, how fast can that process be? Is it easier to be a slow process? Is it smooth for the pilot, for the people in the back there waving at us? What's that like?
I can't tell you honestly that I know how fast it can transition. What I can tell you is that I know that slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and that if you take the time to go just a little bit slower, things tend to work out a little bit better. So with that being said, you know, smooth transitions tend to be a little bit more slow. But you're kind of seeing him where he should be pushing those nacelles forward now and starting to accelerate.
All right, you have to point out to us exactly when you see it happening, because
I am watching I'm just watching the beautiful silhouette there right now.
Isn't that great? What a shot.
Yeah. It really is. As the sun gets lower on the horizon, starting to see a good reflection off the Ohio River too. Sunset's not officially until 8:27, and then we'll still have a few minutes after that of a little bit of brightness, but starting to get towards the end of our beautiful day so far, and looking forward to the evening.
Absolutely. One of the things you might get to see with this head-on shot, you're going to see that he's loaded up with all kinds of amazing sensors that aid him in his missions. One of those things is a FLIR pod, a forward-looking infrared pod. Is that little disco ball-looking thing that's hanging off the nose of the aircraft, and that assesses them in crash search and rescue, and basically any other thing that requires us to find people.
It's just amazing to watch. We're just sitting back looking.
Well, and the level of detail, everything you see on these aircraft have a purpose, because when you put these in the sky for military exercises, or every pound matters when they're carrying this. So really neat to see. Have you seen that? Has it propelled forward yet? Has the move happened?
No,
okay,
they're still kind of hanging out in that in that helicopter mode, if you would. And I'll tell you what, one of the most interesting things about this aircraft, you mentioned the sensors on board. I'll tell you what, these guys and gals train to land in a full instrument meteorological condition all the time, because when they go land, those rotors throw up so much dust and dirt that they can't see anything. So they are relying on instrumentation to land them on the ground, and it is a absolute work of, mastery of that aircraft.
Is this something you've ever flown?
No, it is not something I've ever flown. There's no way they would let me do that.
And Lieutenant Colonel Josh Ketterer is at the command center right now. You can hear the music behind him, really setting the tone.
Okay, there you go. Let's get those nacelles rotating forward.
Okay.
Bam, there you go. He's got his, he's an airplane.
That was the fast transition.
That was a quick transition, wasn't it?
Wow.
From helicopter to airplane. You saw it right here on WLKY. That is the V-22 Osprey flying over the Ohio River now with a gorgeous blue sky behind it. You can expect great weather throughout the fireworks tonight, and we'll have you covered with that. So keep it here. You're watching our exclusive coverage of Thunder over Louisville. The legend returns, and we'll be right back.